So first off is, let's talk about why do we have a marketing product? Like, I think a lot of people look at Art Storefronts and they go, wait, you guys are a website company but you also do business consulting, all this. And so you're an all-in-one solution. I see you call yourselves an all-in-one solution for photographers and artists on your website, right? And, and that is true, right? So we have two main products, the proper art gallery website to give you all of the features you need to sell art online the best way possible and to give your customers the best buying experience that you can possibly get and to eliminate all buyer friction so that your conversion rates are as high as possible. The second thing we do is art business and marketing consulting, the whole thing, right? So a marketing plan, 365 days a year. And that's what I'm going to show you guys. And then we do live consulting, one-on-one, not like comments here, but actually on conference calls with our customers to talk about their specific business. We do those every week. We're actually doing these workshops 4 days a week. And then we have ongoing marketing technical support, aside from like website technical support as well, where as everybody's executing on marketing stuff, like you're doing things on Instagram, you're doing email marketing, all the stuff we're telling you to do, our team is there to support you the entire way to make sure that you're doing everything as good as possible and that you get the best results. So that's what we do. But why do we do it, Pat? Why did we not just say, we're going to, just let everybody just have a website and just have at it?
Yeah, it's not enough. I mean, I love the analogies and like, look, there's a lot of website solutions out there. Are we partial to our solution? Do we think it's the best? Yeah, we do. So we think that we're selling a Ferrari, but guess what? Without the marketing, you have a Ferrari with no gas. You have a Ferrari with no gas. You like Cadillac, better Cadillac. Whatever you think your luxury car is, that's what we give you in terms of how to sell art online. But without the marketing, without the traffic, without the attention, you have a car sitting in your garage with no gas. It's worthless. Worthless.
Yep. And so when we started Art Storefronts, we started it under the premise that we've known about the website industry for a long time. We know all of the different generic website options, and they didn't solve the main problem, right? Mm-hmm. First of all, you couldn't get all the features that you needed, but secondly, the big dark secret with the big website companies is that almost everybody is failing, and you can just go ahead and Shopify 99%. You can go ahead and Google 99% of all Shopify stores fail. And the same thing applies towards Squarespace or anything like that. And it's not a knock against any of these companies. It's just the truth that when you launch a website, you don't have a business, right? You have a business when you have, leads coming in and you're acquiring customers. And that your customer acquisition is growing over time and your sales are growing. And so it's become easier than ever to launch a website, but in many ways, all it has done is accelerated a lot of failure, because before that, it was harder to get a website. And so many people just didn't do it, unless they were way further down the line in terms of validating whether their art would sell and things like that, right? Yeah. But nowadays, anybody in any industry can launch a generic website and say, yay, I'm in business. But the deep, dark secret is everybody's failing at it because they can't figure out how to get customers. Yep. And so we have decided as a business that, we wanted to productize a marketing product for photographers and artists, because it's almost impossible for them to afford to hire consultants on your own. And you can't hire a full-time employee. You certainly can't hire full-time consultants, right? Yeah. $100, $200 an hour. And so there needed to be something that allowed photographers and artists to market directly to their customers, to own their own customer list, to build their own valuable business, right? Mm-hmm. That they own, that they control, that nobody can take away from them, right? Yep. And that's what's been one of the biggest problems in the industry for hundreds of years. You could even say thousands of years. That's never happened. Selling indirect through galleries, putting your art on online marketplaces and getting a 1099 independent contractor check is not a way to build a business. That's a way to starve and be broke when you actually retire one day. Instead, what you want to do is acquire your own customers, have your own customer list, sell direct, make the most from your own artwork, and build a real business. And that's what the most successful artists and photographers have done over the years. It was a lot harder to do 20 years ago, 30 years ago. It's a lot easier to do now due to technology.
Yeah, totally agree. And the interesting thing is it's a trend in our industry, but it's not just in our industry, right? Like selling a software solution is no longer enough. Just not enough anymore. The only thing that matters is the success of your customers. You want to stay in business. If we want to stay in business, if we want to thrive, we need successful customers. And just saying, hey, you want a website? Great. Here's a website. It's a really good one. Ready, go. Crickets. Doesn't work, right? Like it's just not sustainable. It's just not sustainable. So the marketing is absolutely everything.
And when it comes to marketing, Pat, I mean, you've been a marketer for a long time, entrepreneur, all of these things. Like we talk about this all the time, but let's talk about it now. How do you become successful at marketing? Because people always say, what's the number one tactic you can tell me, right? That'll do something for me right now. Or should I focus on Facebook or should I focus on Instagram? And it's always like, everybody's always looking for one thing that they can do like in the next 2 weeks to like give their business a shot in the arm or something. And there's a bigger point there that's missing.
Yeah, I think to answer the question broadly, yes, you need to be focused on the right things. There's no question about that. Once you do focus on the right things, it's consistency. It's just pressure over time. That's it. You want it summed up just like that. That's it. And what do most artists do? They phone it in. They do a little bit here. They do a little bit there. They get discouraged. This isn't working. This isn't working for me. I'm going to go change everything. And instead of doing what I'm doing, I'm going to go on a marketplace. And then that marketplace wasn't working. I'm going to go back to Etsy. Oh, well, that's not really working. So I'm going to come off of Etsy and try to find Art America this time. And then maybe I'll try to go back to the shows. Well, you can't do the shows now. So what are you going to do? No, very few people stay at it consistently. And very few people realize how long it takes to build a business of solid value. That's
right.
What it's saying.
And what you just said there, it applies to every business, right? Yeah. There's no difference between a photographer and artist business, like an art selling business, solo entrepreneur, and any other entrepreneurial business, right?
Yep.
You have to do the marketing. You got to do it consistently all year long. You hack away at it. And it's, as you say, it's pressure over time, right? You're compounding the results over time. So it starts off here and then eventually you get it here. Right.
Yep.
So I think that's a perfect segue into showing the actual Art Storefronts marketing product. So why don't I go ahead and screen share and we can get into it?
Yep.
Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, we got you.
Okay, great. So I am right now in the back end of an Art Storefronts customer's site manager, right? And so you can see in the top navigation here, we have marketing resources. So when you become an Art Storefronts member for the first time, we're going to have you start right here. All right. And we've got the art marketing calendar and we've got the Small Wins Facebook group. We've got our live consulting workshops and our marketing resource vault. But what I'm going to focus on here is I'm going to go right to the art marketing calendar. Okay. So I click that and it opens up in what we call the marketing resource vault. This is all private resources for Art Storefronts members. And you can see this is the current art marketing calendar for April 2020. All right. So if you'll notice here, there's a call out for newbies. So for the newest members of Art Storefronts, there are some specific things that we want them to do first before they get into the actual daily calendar or weekly calendar of tasks, however they're going to do it. Okay. And then after that, we have the important announcements for April. Okay. So, for example, we are showing all of the workshops that we are doing on a weekly basis, and specifically for this week, and it has the name of them, so you know exactly which one you want to attend. You can also click the link to see all the past workshops. These are the one-on-one live workshops where we are doing Q&A, and I'm going to actually show you one in a second. You can see that we have a save 15% on your print orders. We have a exclusive member discount for the automated print fulfillment right now, only for Art Storefronts members. It's on all their prints. They don't have to do anything. When they get an order through their website, they automatically get the discount, so it's more profit margin for them. And that's one of the member benefits that a lot of people don't know about. Is there's a lot of different member benefits here, and one of them is that you get better pricing on your prints. So we're talking about the Mother's Day sale. We're giving some important reminders that we think are relevant to the marketing around Mother's Day. And so we're talking about that a little bit right here. And then you can see we have the production times and shipping times and the cutoff dates for the fulfillment partners right here, so that our members can use that in their marketing to let people know, because we have We have an email that we recommend that they send, and social media posts at the cutoff date for when somebody needs to place an order to ensure that they receive the print. So if they're sending it as a gift, this information is very important, okay? You'll also notice we have the COVID-19 pandemic response kit, okay? So this is an entire kit of resources. I'll go ahead and open that we have put together over the last 2 months to specifically help our members do unique marketing that is sensitive to the current time. Because as soon as this whole thing happened, we had to pivot. You know, we have the whole art marketing calendar for the entire year. But when this happened, we realized, like, wait a minute, all the language, the entire tactics, all of it needs to change. So we've been putting this together, and as we continue updating it and adding more resources, it all goes in here. So that's why we have it in the important announcements, because we want everybody to see that in the context of all of the marketing that we're recommending. So as I go down here, I'm now getting into the April art marketing calendar, okay? And you'll see that we have things that are highlighted as critical, and then additional, and get live one-on-one help. Just to call them out on here, the critical tasks, the reason we have that is because a lot of people tell us, like, what do I do if I just don't have that much time? I'm not a full-time artist. I have a part-time job, or I'm a stay-at-home mom or dad. I have some obligations. I just can't put that much work into the marketing. So we specifically highlight those in red so that that group of people knows what the most important things are that they should do. They're like the mandatory things. And so other stuff they can ignore. Now, if you want to sell more and you want your business to grow, then you're going to obviously want to do more. But at the very least, we've got that so that those people can do it. Because we at Art Storefronts, we have people who we've got artists and photographers who sell hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, and we have, you know, people who are part-timers doing it, you know, right out of their house. In fact, almost everybody's doing it out of their house or out of a studio, who are only selling maybe 8 to 10,000 a year or 5,000 a year, you know, and they're absolutely happy with that because it's the decent side income that they were looking for. So as you get into the calendar, you can click on go to tasks to go to exactly what you should do on that day. So I'm going to go ahead and go to yesterday, which was the 21st. And as you can see, it takes me right there, right? So all the dates are in red. As I scroll down, you can see, or I'm sorry, this one is in red. They're in some different colors, but you can see as you go down, it's just every day is right here in order. So you can just see exactly what you need to do on this one page. So it's very convenient. But let's look at what happened yesterday, right? So yesterday was the day that we were advising to announce the Mother's Day sale, right? You've got to be doing this well in advance of Mother's Day. There's a whole process, and we have a whole playbook for it. And yesterday, we'll show the specific tasks that we wanted people to do on that day, okay? So set up a Mother's Day discount code. There's a tutorial that leads you right there. Announce your Mother's Day sale on all channels, email, Facebook, and Instagram. And then we've got the text and the templates to do that and the instructions, right? So if I click on the templates and text, you'll see you can download the email template for the announcement, okay? You've got an email subject line. You have the resend email subject line, which is a specific tactic that we have about resending an email to unopens. And you've got the whole email body right here. So it's our copywriters, we've written this for you, okay? And we know that it works. And you're able to take it and change it a little bit where you want to and make it your own. But you've got everything right here, okay? So you can download it. You can import it right into a mail provider like MailChimp. So it's all in there with all the graphic design and everything. And you've got all the copy and all the text. So you don't have to think through it. You don't have to go through all this. And most importantly, so that you don't do it wrong. You do it the way that we know is working for photographers and artists. Okay? So then I'll go back to the calendar here. I'm back on Tuesday. You'll notice up here in this orange area that we are showing the workshop that actually happened yesterday. This is a private one-on-one live workshop, okay? And it was on Art Curators Part 2, Exploring Your Niche. So I'll explain what that is. It is the #1 tactic that we have been teaching to the Art Storefronts members for the last couple of weeks, because it's the specific tactic that you can do right now. It's online only, And it's a way to acquire customers and to get sales during these times. So while everybody's home, they can't sell through any galleries, they can't do any shows. We got to have tactics that are ready to go, that are specific to this time. So you can see how to contact curators on Facebook and Instagram, step-by-step guide to collaborating. There's an app we went over called BlueStacks, which is, I won't go into details on, but we went over that, and Instagram Lives, how to do it and why you should. And then, if let's just say that, you missed it, you weren't able to attend it that day. We always have it linked in here. You can click on the show notes button here and notice that it takes me right to it. It's got the date, so you know where you're at. And
play that video. Play a little bit of that video, just in the grid of people's faces, which is just awesome. I mean, look at that.
So I just mute it for you, but I'll full screen it here. Can you see this? Can you see this, Pat?
Oh yeah, we got it. We got it.
Great. So this is the beginning when everybody's getting on. But how many people do we usually have on each workshop right now?
We're
like 200, right?
Yeah, we're several hundred per.
Yeah. So I'll forward it so you can see. I'll forward it a little bit here. Looks like it's going to take a second to catch up.
It's still in setup mode, but yeah.
Oh, there we go. So you can see we're, in this case, it was Patrick was doing a deep dive on this tactic and going through it. And then if I go a little bit more forward, you will notice we get into the Q&A with our customers. And I think this is Ance, Ance Taylor, who's a painter. And so she's asking questions about her business specifically. She's showing a piece that she was doing because we were talking about golden
golden
marketing.
It was golden retrievers. Yeah.
Golden retrievers. Okay. So, so this goes on for, 2 to 3 hours, and everybody gets to get in and they raise their hand within our Zoom conference call. And then Patrick and I and our team members are actually giving them live consulting on exactly, what problem they're going through right now, or, whatever it is in their business that isn't working.
Yep.
And then we have all the show notes, which are the resources that we mentioned during the workshop, because there's always things that come up like, hey, I need to do this. And it's like, okay, let's get them that tutorial. We've got that right there. Or you need to watch this video or something like that. So we've always got everything nicely organized right here. So, and then aside from that, if I go back right to where I was, you'll see the last thing on here is get help and small wins. So if I click on that, it takes you to our private Facebook group. And this is for every other time during the week and the weekend where our members can get marketing technical support. So our team is in here, answering marketing questions and things like that. So if you want to upload an email template, if you want to talk about like your open rates or your click rates or, anything that you're having problems with, you can get help from our team as well as all of the other members, which is amazing. Everybody's collaborating. Everybody's working on their businesses at the same time. Like that's an amazing thing to think about, right? We have 3,000 Art Storefronts members and everybody's working on the same marketing plan at the same time. So it enables, everybody to have a unique sort of collaboration and help with each other when they're trying to do something that they might have never done before. And so all of that together, you can see that this is the whole marketing product, and it's designed to be able to give you a plan the entire year long so that you can do the right things and not the wrong things, okay? So that you can do the consistency that's needed to build a business and that you have real professional mentorship and support the entire way for your business. And that's the marketing product.